Thank you for tuning in and for attending this final installment with Coach Chot Reyes. We are joined today by an esteemed panel of speakers. So we still have Coach Chot Reyes, and we will also be joined by the digital head of EXL's digital transformation team, Rajiv Sethi. Hello, Rajiv. And of course, we have the co-founder of Worksago, the AI platform that will revolutionize coaching as we know it, Anant Sood. Hi, guys.
Hi, Natalie. Good morning.
Hi, Natalie. Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello. So last time, I believe we spoke about leading in these times of fast-paced changes. How do you cope as a leader? Today, we will talk about something equally important, and that is, how do you build teamwork in a very remote and sometimes can feel isolated scenarios for our employees. So to get us started, I'll ask Coach, what does teamwork mean now? And what will be the new dynamics given that people, even if they wanted to, right, it's limited. The interaction is solely internet, phone. How do we do that? What does it look like for you, Coach?
Well, to be very honest, it's the same. Teamwork before and teamwork now, the components, the essentials are the same. It is just in the doing, in the getting things done where there are differences, precisely because we are operating on different platforms. But I've always operated from the model that I built over the years of coaching professional basketball and running organizations as an entrepreneur and an executive, that the foundation of all teamwork is trust. And my team model actually is trust, effort, accountability, motivation. It's a very simple model. It spells team, T-E-A-M. The first thing you have to do as a leader is to build strong trust-based relationships with your people. That is the foundation of all great teamwork, whether you're co-located or you're virtual or you are, different parts of the world. It is the starting point. Project Aristotle, that big Google study, when they studied what's the most important element of the perfect team, their number one finding was psychological safety, which is essentially group trust. So that's the starting point for any great team, whether that's on a live situation, co-located, or on a virtual world. You have to build strong trust-based relationships with your people. So if from the start you did not have good relationships with your people and you did not have good teamwork before this whole thing happened, then you are not going to have good teamwork now. It's just as simple as that, as brutal as that may sound, but it's just as simple as that. But if you had good relationships, you had strong bonds, a great trust relationships, great teamwork at the start, then even in this platform, you can still maintain those relationships. And I think that's the question now. What are the differences? What do we need to do in this virtual world to keep up those trust fundamentals? But for me, that's how you build teams. You start with building a strong trust foundation. You put in the effort, and then each member has to have shared the understanding. That's their accountability. And then their motivation. What is the team there for? What is the purpose? What are you there to create? What is the reason for being for that team? So for me, that's the fundamental model for building teams. That's what I teach. That's what I've seen work. And we have seen it as well thrive even in this virtual platform.
Thank you, Coach. That's interesting. Team, trust is the first element there. T. Rajiv, from your perspective, having been in the BPO operations, from the get-go, right? A lot of it can be already remote because it's a global operation. So your boss may be sitting elsewhere and the rest of your team members are sitting in a different geography. So from an EXL perspective, what are your thoughts in terms of what does teamwork now mean?
Yeah, so I think teamwork what as per me means is a set of actions done by a group, for a specific purpose or a specific goal. But I think what I heard from coach is the trust or the team environment, which is more important. I think to gain that goal or to achieve that goal or the objective from that team, it is more important actually that we work together as a team for that goal. And obviously, the trust and team environment is right. And that is what at EXL also we're doing the same thing. But you're right. Your teams are sitting in different geographies. Your boss is sitting in different geographies. It's a challenge in terms of engaging your teams. But that's when your AI coach comes into picture in engaging our employees.
That's great. That's great. So you're saying that there's an element, when you're managing a huge operations, right? Like EXL, thousands of people, you need a third element to that building of teams, and that's leveraging platforms. So let's go to the platform guy himself. So Anant, from your perspective, how does Worksago enable that team engagement using the technology?
And I completely agree with what Coach and Rajiv spoke about, Natalie. So from a platform perspective, right, there's always this thought that technology will replace individuals, whereas what our platform does is it enhances the ability of individuals to become better team members. So as a frontline employee, it acts like a personal coach which motivates each individual to do what they're supposed to, even like Coach had mentioned, right? If it's not working well earlier, it will not work in a remote environment for a team. For the platform, it's pretty much the same thing. Whether you're working, sitting in a remote location or you're working in a team, the engine or the platform helps make each player or each individual in the team become autonomous, be responsible for their own output, and like Rajiv said, responsible for their own actions for a process. For the team leaders, it acts like a productivity wingman. So like an assistant coach, if I may use that term, it's there to help the team leader pay attention to parts of his or her team who are either doing well or not doing well. So it's there to tell the team leader saying, hey, you know what? Here are 3 people in that shift who are, who need your attention on this aspect of their job. It could be whether they're, coming in on time, adhering to their schedules, or maintaining their basic hygiene KPIs, or it could be around the core productivity metrics of whether you're doing those throughput KPIs well or not. So to summarize, Natalie, it acts at 2 levels. It's like a personal motivational coach for each associate, but for team leaders, it's like a productivity wingman or an assistant coach, which is it helps team leaders get better at managing their teams, keeping them motivated, and focusing the team leaders' attention on either a place where there is a problem or a place in their team which just needs them to appreciate the right behaviors or the right activities happening, so that that part of the team continues to fire well. And as a team leader, I can focus my attention on other parts which need me to intervene much more.